My name is Brad. Most people call me Uncle Brad. Not because I'm everyone's uncle, but because I've always been the quiet one at family gatherings, the one who listens more than he talks, the one kids sit next to when they don't want to be judged. I turned 62 last winter. Nothing special about the day, really. No big party. No loud music. Just a small dinner at home. My wife, Linda. Her daughter, Emily. And a chocolate cake from the grocery store down the street. Emily is my stepdaughter. I've known her since she was 11. She never called me Dad, and I never asked her to. We had an understanding. Respect, distance, peace. She's 26 now. Quiet, intelligent, keeps things to herself. That night after dinner, she handed me a small box, wrapped neatly. No card. "Happy birthday," she said. Her voice was calm, but her hands were shaking slightly. I noticed that. Inside the box was a wristwatch. Nothing flashy. Simple, classic, heavy in a good way. I told her she didn't have to get me anything. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I wanted to," she said. I thanked her, put the watch on. It fit perfectly. For a moment I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time, seen. The next morning I wore the watch to the hardware store, then to the diner, then home. It became part of my routine. 3 days later, at 6 in the morning, there was a knock on the door. Not a friendly knock. A firm one. I opened it to see 2 police officers standing on my porch. They asked for Emily. Linda came into the hallway, still in her robe. One of the officers said they needed Emily to come with them for questioning. Emily didn't argue. She didn't cry. She went to her room, put on her coat, and came back quietly. As they led her outside, she looked at me, just once, and said, "I'm sorry you got pulled into this." That was when my stomach dropped. Later that day, a detective came back. He asked me about the watch, where I got it, when, from whom. I told him the truth. It was a gift from my stepdaughter. He nodded slowly. Then he explained. The watch had been reported stolen, taken during a burglary 2 months earlier. The original owner was an elderly man who had passed away shortly after. Emily's fingerprints were found at the scene. I felt something inside me crack. I wanted to say there was a mistake, that Emily wasn't that kind of person, but the detective wasn't accusing me. He was observing. That evening, I sat alone in the living room. The watch was on the table in front of me. I didn't want to look at it. Linda cried in the bedroom. I didn't know what to say to her. The next day, I visited Emily at the station. She looked smaller behind the glass, tired. I asked her why. She took a long breath before speaking. "I lost my job," she said. "Rent went up, I was behind. I panicked." She told me she had broken into the house thinking no one lived there anymore. She didn't know about the man. She took a few things. The watch stood out. She wanted to sell it. But when my birthday came, she couldn't. "So you gave it to me?" I asked. She nodded. I thought if I did one good thing, maybe it would balance out. That stayed with me. I asked her why she didn't tell us. She smiled sadly. "Because disappointment hurts worse than punishment." 3 weeks later, Emily was charged. No violence. First offense. The court was fair. Community service, probation, restitution, The day she came home, she didn't look at me right away. I handed her the watch. "I don't need it," I said. She shook her head. "I don't deserve it." "That's not how it works," I said quietly. We sold it together, returned the money to the man's family. It didn't erase what happened, but it mattered. Today the watch is gone. But the memory stays, not because of the crime, but because of what I learned. People don't always give gifts because they're proud. Sometimes they give them because they're drowning. And sometimes the hardest part of loving someone is choosing not to look away when the truth knocks on your door.